like I say, what I was doing is I was hopscotching around the planet, basically. Um, Basically working in places like I had places in Romania. Like I had a couple factories in Romania. I had a couple places in China and Japan, also in Hong Kong and Singapore. I had a couple other places in Germany. I had factories all over the world. I had my White Star Line ships went to all these places. My steam trains ran to my foundries and my mines, and basically, my mining camps basically did business, and also creating my stores and stuff like that, and selling my goods, and also my ideas on basically water wheels and water power and the textiles that would run for free basically all day, and using bricks to build these buildings and my chimneys and stuff like that. I had all these factories that I was building and basically had, and pretty much, I mean, people would call me a monopoly. It's like, yeah, but I mean, I was a monopoly, but I believed in fair prices and low prices. Because I was such a big monopoly, I was only charging like 5 or 10% over the actual cost, which is labor. And basically whatever. So I was just making little bits, but still a lot. I mean, and I was always moving forward with new inventions and stuff like that as I had a research team. I always had like 2 or 3 research teams researching new products and stuff like that. I was encouraging that as well. And also, like I say, also taking surveys as far as, do the clothes feel too scratchy? What do you think would be a better shoe? This and that kind of stuff, getting the public's opinion. Like I said, in the old days, they used to ask me for everything. And I was like, well, I'm not the only one wearing and using these clothes. I know I'm paying for these things and these things are mine, but, you know, why don't we just also, we'll make it for me, but we'll also make it for the public. And that's why it gets kind of confusing where basically it's like, yeah, I could have just been rich. But like, I mean, I used to tell Rodney a lot. I said, Rodney, you find yourself, this is a point in which we can do something bigger than ourselves. We can be, I've afforded such a position where I can be more than just rich, more than just someone that has a small effect on civilization, time and space and all that stuff. I can be, you know, this is a opportunity to be, more. That's another reason why I was telling Rodney not to spend money and other people not to spend money, because we had to be efficient. We had to keep the cost down, and basically not think smart, think this, do this, do that. Be careful with the money and not just go with the money, because if we saved our money and basically there was so much money coming in, so much stuff coming in, that basically we would go with it, where it compounds. It's like, yeah, I could have bought a fleet of ships, but I could also clothe the world. I could also keep it going with like secondhand stores and more than. Although technically I could, I couldn't spend my money within 10 lifetimes. I could literally probably float all of America on basically how much I'm worth. Yeah, I could probably say, well, America, you don't have to work anymore. We'll just blow my money for about 10 years. But I mean, when you're as big and huge of an operation as Lucifer Star Line, basically, you know, like I said, I went to other planets. I was with other races and other life forms. I was more than just a person, more than just a life form, more than just anything. I was exponential, godlike. But like I said, I mean, yeah, whatever. I never put much stock in basically being epic creator. It's like, yes, I did exoskeletons and endoskeletons and 1.5s and the human race and stars and this and that and blah 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 blah. But I mean, I was making a difference in the universe. Because like I said, I was different. I wasn't power hungry. I wasn't anything. I was neutral. So that's why it was like, at a certain point I was like, effortless. And basically I was able to just change the world and change the universe and change everything. And everybody, like I said, at sometimes, I'd look behind me and think that people weren't following me, and it's like they were just like hiding in the trees giggling. The little children and everything else like that. Because, toys and games and paintball and fast cars and motorcycles and Sea-Doos and jets and aircraft and spaceships and MTV and music concerts and LED lights and like things like Vegas, and drugs too, drugs with intolerances. I wasn't going to restrict, I thought about it. Like I said, there's a point in time when I was amending the Constitution and I was thinking about, restricting alcohol and restricting drugs. And I was like, they're just going to do it anyway. And I was like, I don't want to be that person. It was one of those, it was actually one of those epic situations. I was sitting inside the downstairs of my dad's office and I was thinking about amending the Constitution because drugs were becoming a problem and blah, 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 blah. And like I said, I initiated prohibition and everything else like that, amended the Constitution. And then about 5 minutes later, I really thought about it and I was like, no. They're just going to do it another way. And I was like, I don't want to be that person. So that's why we we amended the Constitution, because I was like, no, strike that. That's a bad idea. That's a mistake. I don't want that. So we amended the Constitution, I guess. I was like, you know what? Because I amended the Constitution in the first place, I was like, you know what? Let's go ahead and just leave it in there. And then we'll just re-amend it to lift the ban on it because that way, it sets me up as basically that person that amended the Constitution, because that decision to ban it and then decision to lift the ban was also my decision. So it's a double timestamp, basically. Time space stamp. So I was like, yeah, let's go ahead and just lift the ban on it. And so basically I did that, and then I lifted the ban on it, and then with drugs, it's like, well, you're going to find a way to do it anyway. So, and I can just, you're smart, you're rational, you can basically self-moderate. And most people, they do it for a little while and they give it up. So, and it's just more of a education thing, I believe. So I could be wrong about these things, but, I thought about it. Like I said, I was only like 9 or 10 years old or 11 years old. Epic Lucifer Star. Hi. I used to blame the gypsies. They shrunk me. Can you believe that? So yeah. Like I said, though the human race might call me Brian, and to you, I might just seem like Brian, but to my exoskeletons and my 1.5s and everything else, like they exist longer, so they knew me as Lucifer Star anyway. Like I said, LSF's colony ship, and basically I was gone from Earth at one point for 1 billion years, or some great amount of time. So anyway, I was cruising the galaxy, cruising the universe. So anyway, then I came back. And I put it in the Bible, or put it in what's called that I was going to be coming back and walking among you. So anyway, yeah. So all that. Like I said, many people at my Belfast shipyard and other places, and even people in the government and the White House, didn't really realize that I was, I'm the Lucifer Star of epic biblical Bible, trillions, billions of years old life form. And he said, like I say, when you're the creator of stars and galaxies and universes, and basically 5 or 12 types of life forms that are all sentient, it affords you a little bit of extra little wiggle room. So anyway, and I used it. So anyway, yeah. So anyway, yeah, good luck, Trumpy. Oh well. It's all fun and games until Lucifer comes over.